I had a stalker, y'all. Storytime part 1. Hey, it's me, Miss Jones Moore. I'm back. I know it's been a while. I know you missed me. I missed y'all too. But let's get into it. I just want to put a disclaimer. I do not condone violence. 1, I'm just telling you guys the story and how it went. 2, this happened 10 plus years ago. My memory's a little fuzzy. I'm going to give you the best timeline as I can. Just bear with me because I'm going to have to go off the fly. And 3, enjoy the story. Part 1. Okay, I was engaged, I want to say about 10 years ago or so, all right? And he was doing trucking. And at this time, he would be out of town. This is his first route, so it's his first initial training so he can complete his course and get on the road and really start making money. Okay, so he's gone for a couple of weeks. All right, so I'm all excited that he's coming back or whatever. And in the midst of that time, I was at my friend Mr. Kennedy's house. You guys all know from my old account, Mr. Kennedy. That was like one of my first viral TikToks on my band account. But anyways, I'm at Mr. Kennedy's house, and he's having his outside stairs being rebuilt. And I'm over there doing whatever I was doing, and I see these two glistening, caramel complected coated beautiful men outside. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm on the phone talking to my friend, and I'm like, girl, it is two fine brothers outside. I'm like, dang. I said, dang, I'm engaged. Like, ooh, I shouldn't even be looking. But you know, my little hot ass, I go to the window and I'm just peeping them or whatever. So she was like, girl, you gonna say something? And I was like,
Yo, I am so scared. I am so scared. That's like one of my worst fears, damn near. Asking a girl, baby, can you marry me? And she looking at other niggas. Holy, I'll be like, oh my god, damn.
I was like, matter of fact, so I tap on the window. It was hot out there, right? Plus, you know, I'm gonna enjoy the view. I'm gonna view the bodies. And I was like, excuse me, are you guys, you want some water? You want something to drink? It's hot out there. And they was like, oh.
Damn. You better not listen. If I ask you to marry me, you can't even talk to niggas no more, folks. Like, the only niggas you can talk to is your cousins, your brother, your dad and shit, grandpas and shit, immediate family. Other than that, I don't need you talking to no niggas at all, folks. Like, I asked you to marry me? That gotta be written in the contract, like.
We got it or whatever. And I was
You asking niggas if they hot, like, you twig.
like, oh damn. I was like, okay. So I got off the phone with my friend and I said to myself, I said, if this don't work out with my boo and I am ever single, if I ever run into either one of them again, it's on. Now, I was partial to the brother who I found out they were brothers. So let's get into it. My fiance, he's on the road. Now, it's time for him to come back. So my girlfriends, we were having a get together, a little powwow, and we're drinking and, having food and just talking, how women do or whatever. And everybody's all excited, like, oh, your babe is on his way back. What y'all gonna do tonight? I know he about to, y'all about to tear it up. I'm like, just excited. I'm cute. And he pulled some BS, y'all. Now, mind you, at the end of his course, he was moving into my place. So me and his brother and his mom and his family were moving his stuff from his place in Long Beach to my stuff in the IE. So he only had some personal items that he needed to go back to get, which we both agreed on. But I'm just like, okay, time is ticking, and he starts not answering the phone. So I'm sitting there, and after a certain point of time, I text him or whatever, and he's giving me some mumbo jumbo. I'm like, whatever, I'm out. So I'm peeved. So they're like, girl, that's embarrassing. They was like, girl, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Because not my man. You not about to, I ain't seen you in 3 weeks and you don't. So I'm like, not my man. I know not my man. So anyways, I take myself out, y'all. So I go to the El Torito out here. Now, it was cracking. They used to turn it into a club after a certain time on certain nights. So me, Miss Jones, I don't have an issue. I don't need nobody with me. I would go to bars and clubs by myself. I got my crew, but sometimes I like to do my solo dolo thing. So this night, I took myself to the El Torito. Bam. I get in, get my little drink, get on the dance floor, and I'm just...
And there go dude, pop up. Had to be.
doing my little two-step, my little shimmy or whatever, and I could feel eyes on me. And so I turn around to look, and y'all, it was one of the brothers. It wasn't the one that I particularly wanted first. It was, come to find out, his younger brother. Don't get me wrong, both handsome, both fine, but I just was more attracted to the younger brother. So old boy pushes up on me, and I'm like, you don't remember me from the other day? And he was like, you look familiar. And I was like, remember I offered you water? You did work for Mr. Kennedy, right? And he was like, that was you? I was like, mm-hmm. Now, y'all, I was looking crazy at Mr. Kennedy's house, so I don't blame him. But anyways, I was like, yeah, you didn't have nothing to say. I offered you guys some water, but y'all was playing funny, you know. He was like, you know, we got to keep it professional, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so where's the other guy at? He's like, oh, my little brother. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, why? I said, oh, I just want to see what's up with your brother. You know, I'm glad I ran into you. He was like, oh, that's out. I said, oh, that's out. And he was like, yeah. He was like, you mine. You with me for the rest of the night, and it's a wrap. So you can just get my brother out your brain. It's a wrap.
My nigga, that's that game right there. Fuck, what you asking about my brother for? Oh, it's a wrap. You and me tonight, all night. Let's go. I like that.
Done. I was like, oh, okay, I ain't gonna lie. That kind of turned me on. Don't get me wrong. He was handsome too. I just tend to go towards darker skinned men, and the brother is darker than he is. It is what it is. Both handsome, matter of fact, his body was better than his younger brother's. Now keep in mind, he was like 58, 59. The brother was probably maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. So if I was 32, 30, no, I was like 33. So he probably was like 38, 39. That's where we were with it. And I normally date younger men or towards my age. But at this time, I was giving the older cats, you know, I was checking out the salt and pepper steppers. So, okay, so we leave, we have a good time. Come to find out, now, back then, I didn't have any social media. They had herb stores, like, popped up. You know, the little chunty ones, the legit ones. But on each street, especially, like, in the IE at that time, it was, like, herb stores everywhere. So he happened to be a co-owner with 2 other guys. So they had a shop. And, you know, back then, I was Queen Puff Puff Pass. That was my thing. So it was like I didn't need one for nothing. I'm like, cool, you know. So me and him are vibing or whatever. Mind you, I still have a fiance. And I tell him about what my situation is. Mind you, my fiance came home the next day. He had to leave back out on the road. We kind of got into it or whatever. Knowing my ass, we probably did do it, but whatever. He went back on the road. We weren't really talking here and there, and if we did, it was very short. He was still sending money back home, but it was just like weird. So from that point, me and dude, I get back at like 6 in the morning. Okay, I get back about 6 in the morning. Time goes on. So at this point, me and old boy, we're gonna say Carpenter, we hanging and banging. We tight, we tough. And the distance between me and my fiance was getting further. Now I asked Carpenter, you know, what his situation was. And what he told me, see, now this is where we start getting into the stalking and the craziness. All right, he tells me that he had a situation going on. And the woman that he was dealing with is now in jail. And that she's about to get released in about a couple of months or a couple of weeks, whatever it was. So I'm like, okay. And he was like, she was living with me before she left, but I'm good. He was like, I've been trying to get away from her, but she just like on some weird shit. And I was like, well, look, I don't need no BS because I already got enough of my own going on. And you need to let me know what it is. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I never wanted him like that. So y'all already know I was interested in the brother, and I didn't even want him like that. I really wanted my fiance to do what we was gonna do the marriage thing, but I just, if it wasn't with my fiance, I was cool. Let's just put it like that. I wasn't really tripping. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out, and I was just gonna press on and do me. So there was no initial interest like, oh, my man, but he was pressing like, you're my woman. So Anyways, he tells me, I'm like, well, you need to let her know something. I said, so what are the living arrangements going to be when she comes out? And he was like, I'm not going to just put her on the street because she really don't have nowhere to go. But my lease is up in a couple of months and I'm not going to renew it and I'm going to just bounce out. I'm like, all right, whatever, however you got to do it, but we need to get it together because I'm not trying to get into it with nobody or whatever. So, okay, push comes to shove. She gets out. Now, mind you, my fiance is coming in and out, like every 3 weeks, 3 or so weeks, coming in and out. So, what happens is she gets out, and mind you, let me get back to the carpenter. The carpenter is helping me with my rent, my bills, paying for whatever I need, make sure all my extracurriculars are taken care of. I have more than enough in abundance, and I was good. Like he said, he was like, I'm going to take care. I'm like, you're going to take care of me and my kid. Like, what's cracking with me. So are you sure you're ready for that? It's nothing. Like, I want you. So I'm like, okay. Time going on. Girl gets out.
My boy going strong. He like, you with me for the rest of the night and I got you.
Now the girl gets out and she's one of them petty, y'all, she's just a case. I'm going to say this. We'll call her Veranda. All right. Now, Veranda, if I was in my early 30s. Okay. So Veranda gets out and I guess they start arguing and bickering or whatever. Push come to shove. She finds out about me. Okay. So now she's playing on my phone, whatnot. I'm not really tripping or whatever. The contention kept up. So he ended up telling her she has to go. So she didn't even make it until the time his lease was up. Okay, so mind you, I still have a fiance, and I know you guys are like, girl, what are you doing? I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was just doing, okay? I was going through. But in my mind, when he pulled that stunt, not my man. So until we got that together, I was going to do my thing. Because he damn sure was doing his. We'll get to all that later on. So anyways, old girl finds out about me. So I guess they're getting into it. She leaves his house. All right, so now I'm still coming to his house or whatever. So one time I spent the night. This is when all the craziness starts to happen, you guys. I spend the night. We go on a date and we go to a park, took a walk, went and got something to eat. And I kept telling him, I was like, it feels like we're being followed. Like, it feels like somebody's watching us. Like, somebody is watching us. And he was like, oh, you tripping, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I'm trying to tell you, somebody is watching us. So we go to a gas station, and I say all that to say, when we get back to his place, my bag is stolen with my underwear, my undergarments or whatever, like my makeup kit and stuff, that was there. Another bag was there, but the bag that had my dirty clothes. Now, then I wasn't thinking about what she could possibly be doing with my drawers, but now I know. Those who know. Anyways, I just was like,
What was she doing with her drawers? I did a story. A motherfucker said something about the period blood or some shit. I don't know.
This, she done stole my drawers. She took my oil of Olay. I love my oil of Olay. Anyways, he was like, I got you on all that. This is enough or whatever. So I did see her a couple of times in passing or what have you. Bam, kept it moving. Okay, so a couple of days later, I get a text and it's pictures of me and him out on our date. And I was like, I told you, fool, this lady was watching us the whole time. She was following the whole time. I'm like, look, I don't want to have to hurt this lady. So, what happens is I end up getting close to this family. His mother, now his family hated this one. They could not stand this lady. Me and his mother had so much in common. I hope she's still alive. Love the lady to death. Anyways, one day I end up going to meet him at his place. And I'm normally on. Okay, so this particular incident, like I said, I'm either early or on time. But I was dragging ass. I really didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. Something in my spirit. I know it was the Holy Spirit. I didn't want to go. But I took my time. He called me several times, asked me am I on my way. Lying, yes I am, knowing good and well I was not even halfway dressed. Anyways, I get to his place and I'm sitting in front of his house and something is just like, don't go in yet. So I roll up, make sure everything is copacetic, hair straight, put on a little gloss. I start making my way. So I was maybe in the car 10 minutes. So as I'm making my way up to his apartment, 3 men with some bags come flying down the stairs in masks. And I'm like, what the heck? I see the pew pew. I'm like, oh my God. So I go back, I run back to the car and I'm calling them. No answer, no answer, no answer. So now I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to go up in here, I don't know. So anyways, I got up the guts, ended up going up the stairs, peeked my head in, and all three of him and his 3 friends were tied up. And all of his merchandise was gone, which he just re-upped, mind you. Old girl calls and starts laughing, and it was her. So like I said, she was just on one, okay? Mind you, she's older. She's in her 40s. She got like 6 or 7 kids, whatever the case may be. So now, mind you, I used to do hair in LA County, Long Beach, IE. So I ended up doing my uncle's girlfriend's hair. And so, mind you, let me backtrack. She had to go back to jail. She still had time to do like in another county, but she had to do a little bit of time, like a year or so. So time is counting down on that. So I'm doing my auntie's hair and I'm explaining to her, well, do you know how you chop it up? So she was telling me, I was telling her about what I was going through, and she said, it sounds like this girl named Veranda. And I was like, shut up. I said, that's her name. And she was like, girl, let me tell you, she had a baby by my husband. She caused havoc. She used to just come and try to make my life miserable.
Damn, Veranda? Holy.
Busting out tires, acting a fool. She don't have custody of her kids. Like, I've been taking care of her son, and I've been divorced from my husband. I'm still taking care of her. I'm like, shut your mouth. And I said, well, guess what? She met the right one, She met the right one. She said, yeah, your uncle used to date her. I said, shut up. Wow. Small circle. That's why they say 360 degrees of separation. So, like I said, I was like, oh, I got you, auntie, because she don't bother nobody. Just, cool people. And I'm like, she ran into the right one. She was like, yeah, her and her sister has been causing havoc in the IE for years. Like, they been acting a fool. She been acting a straight donkey out here. Now, auntie, she was new in the family, so she did not know that I was a professional at cutting the food. Okay, so bet it's on. And plus, all the antagonizing she was doing. Okay, got her. Okay, so time goes on, right? She ends up going to jail. I end up breaking it off with old boy. Me and the fiance got it back together. When he didn't come home that night, he had ended up going gambling and gambled the whole check away. So I'm like, auntie, don't trip. I got her. So time goes on. I forget about this woman, right? Literally forget. Me and fiance, we back on track. We got everything, going. We good. He forgave me. I forgave him. Got it back together. Let's get it cracking. So time is going, and I noticed that around the time that she would have been released, that the guy, the carpenter, was like, I had just got social media and he kept trying to follow me. And then I noticed her trying to follow me. And I didn't even realize it was her, with the name and the picture. But come to find out, it was both of them. So I guess she assumed that he was still in contact with me. So basically, she was still on a tirade. So this is what happens, right? Okay, so mind you, a year has gone by. I ain't thought about dude, not one time. We're doing our thing. My fiance hits me up. Oh, you sleeping with married men? You was at the hotel. What? What are you talking about? And he was like, he just started accusing me. No, you over here messing with somebody's husband. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And he was like, do you know a Veranda? And I'm like, babe, shut up. He was like, yeah, look at these texts. So I'm looking. It was her, y'all. It was her. So over a year and something later, she still was vexed about the situation. And yeah, she tried to mess up me and my boo. So, mind you, since we were back together, I wasn't really going out like that. So my ex mother in law and my girlfriends, they wanted me to come out, and I just was like, I don't feel like it, but you know what? Since um, Mama Don came from out of town, all right, I'm gonna throw it together. Let's go out. So we go out. Now, three places we went to, it wasn't cracking. So we went to Old Faithful. So it's kind of like a motorcycle, like a VFW. So anyway, we get there, and whose birthday? Shine a light on him on the floor. She getting her two-step on, got her wig going, just having herself a good old time. And I'm sitting there, well, look at this. Okay, so she doesn't even realize that I'm there. And so she's doing her thing, acting a fool, all up in men's faces, just showing out or whatever. And I'm just watching her. So I go outside. I roll up. We're out there talking. And I see her come out, and she's talking to these gentlemen all up in their face. So I walked up to her, and I was like, so what's up, Veranda? I was like, so you don't remember me? And she turns around. Now, mind you, she looked sucked up. The lady was emaciated. She didn't look like herself. It was So anyways, I'm like, you don't remember me? And she was like, I said, girl, you know exactly who I am. And so before she could say something, now she was a uh thicker, fuller woman when I last saw her. When I saw her, she was sucked up, looking crazy. It didn't look like her. Otherwise, I would have slid her immediately. I didn't even want to touch her. I thought she was sick. I didn't know what the heck was wrong with the lady. But that's why I didn't punch her out. So I went to the next best thing. So she's sitting there uh chopping it up. And so I'm like, so you don't know me? I was like, oh, but you remember this. So I snatched her wig off and twisted it like a helicopter, got my PD Pablo and launched it across the parking lot. And so she kind of like, she was trying to hold on to the hair, but it took everybody by surprise. Everybody's mouth was just open. I didn't even realize what I had done. So I kind of like stood my little fighting stance. She looked like she wanted to square up, but so I'm basically getting at her like, oh, you think you slick? Got at her for all the mess that she pulled or whatever, what have you. So she darts and runs to her car. So we end up walking off and we leave. So like the next day I'm getting like, oh, you jumped my auntie, this and this and that. So now I jumped her. So now I got the IE after me like I gave it in. Anyways, exchanged a few words with them. Didn't hear anything for a minute. I ended up going to the club with one of my older girlfriends, and she was there, and I was cute, y'all. My braids was busting. Anyways, we get there, and she's with her group of friends. I'm with my group, well, my group or whatever. And so she was like, do you still have a problem with me? I was like, no. She's like, you good? And I was like, no, the question is, are you good? And she's like, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want no more problems. I'm good. I said, are you sure? Because that was the problem. Because I didn't have an issue with you. I just need to know, you are you good? I'm good. I'm good. So went on the rest of that night about my business. Ended up going to like an after situation, and my cousin ended up coming. And so a girl was talking to a group of guys. I think two I knew, and I went over there and I said something. Here come my cousin. She loaded. Oh, F this B. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, cool. It's cool down, Nick Nack. Cool down, Nikki. She was like, no, you been a hater on my cousin since from day one. Hater ass B. I'm like, oh my God. But basically, at the end of the day, what goes around comes around. Like I said, I wasn't promoting violence, but I was just gonna tell you guys my little story about my little stalker situation. Now, I've had other stalking situations, but
All right. Yeah, I thought Veranda was a G. She been going to jail and shit. You know what I'm saying? But maybe she was drunk. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought they was about to square up right there. But yeah, man, gotta be careful out here. Yeah, I guess cause he was trying to do his baby mama right. Like he like, damn, I don't want to put my baby mama out. She ain't got nowhere to go. But I think that'll be a red flag not to even, what I'm saying, mess with somebody like that. You know what I'm talking about? Because motherfuckers be crazy. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Glad nobody got hurt. Yeah. Shout out to her and her dude. They worked it out. You know what I'm saying? But man, my girl gotta be. It can't be the attitude. Well, if it work out or if it don't work out. No, I need you to be about to lose your mind, crying in the room. I need you to be doing all that type of shit. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to me. Like, don't be no it is what it is type of nigga with me. You feel me? Especially if I said, baby, will you marry me? What? Oh, if I said that type of shit, oh, she gotta be all the way right. You know what I'm talking about? Like, appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. It's your boy Ray. Big play.